Welcome to Do the Talk podcast. This is your real estate podcast that teaches regular people how to invest in real estate. If you would like to invest in real estate, you are in the right place. Keep in mind, this is not a get rich quick scheme. You will have to put in the work. But believe me, when you follow the process, stay all throughout the process and work hard, you will definitely achieve your goal. We all want to be financially free. And this is a practical way of becoming successful. It's going to build your generational wealth. Today, my name is Ibrahim. My co host is Ahmed Lawal. Ahmed, how are you doing tonight?
Ibrahim, I'm very grateful and happy to be here.
Awesome.
Guys, welcome here. This is Do the Talk, and just like we always repeat every week, this is not a get rich quick scheme. You have to put in the work, and believe us, you are going to see a positive impact on your investment life and your personal life. So, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this podcast page, and make sure you share the video with your friend. We want to reach as many people as we can so that we can, all grow together. The main goal of everybody is to achieve the financial freedom that we are craving for. Today's topic is something that will be very useful in your investment journey, either on your personal, even in your personal life. It's still going to be helpful because this is something we practically need to do every single day, which is negotiating good deals. Like I mentioned a few weeks back, buying right will amplify your investment journey. So without further ado, Ibrahim, today's topic is something that is very soft, not really something that's practical or physical, but it is skills that build you and set you up for success. What is even negotiation, and can someone even negotiate, deal in real estate just like every other thing?
Yes, of course. Negotiation, like you mentioned, it is a skill that you have to have to help amplify your success in this real estate journey. So let's look at what is negotiation. First of all, when we think about negotiation, what comes to mind realistically is that, oh, I'm gonna try to get this product or services cheaper than usual. I'm gonna lie to him or her, the seller, that I don't have money. Maybe he or she will consider my offer. I can go on and on. To be clear, it is quite all right to decrease the price of a product to your advantage. We don't have problem with that. However, negotiation isn't all about pricing down a product or services. Real quick, let's look at the real definition of negotiation. It is the discussion aimed at reaching an agreement, the action or process of transferring ownership of a document, meaning it is not all about pricing down a product or services. See, a progressive and sustainable method of negotiation involves skills. Ahmed already mentioned that. Now, tonight we want to go over all those skills, and so every one of us will benefit from this because it's something you can learn. It is definitely something you can learn, and this will help you grow in your real estate journey. These skills involve you know, ensuring that you and your subject are reaching an agreement that is efficient and valuable. Now, what are these skills and how can you implement them? The first thing I want you to know is that listen actively. I repeat, listen actively. It is one of the most powerful skill you can have in real
Yeah.
estate.
Yeah.
You have to listen to understand, not just listen to talk or to just show that you are there. But technically, when you listen to understand, like actively listen, you will go further than many of your contemporaries. Now, the next thing is to ask questions. That's another big one. You need to ask questions. Be flexible. You have to be current. The reason why I'm mentioning current is that real estate is local. Every area or state or region, different activity, different situation, occur in each region, each state, each local government, just because real estate is local. If you, I don't know if you have gone through the news, you would have heard, oh, in California, the prices of, real estate is coming down or this or that. But that's not the same thing in Indiana. We people are still paying more, like paying appraisal gap, and they are still trying to entice the seller to get the property just because it is local. It real estate, it's all about demand and supply. So when you are current, you have the knowledge of what is going on in your vicinity, your environment, your neighborhood, your local government. It's gonna help you to 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 scale up faster than you know your contemporaries. You have to work with experts. I'm mentioning that because we don't know everything, and you cannot know everything, and I don't know everything.
Yep.
And that is
Okay.
why we are here to share our knowledge, so that way you can benefit from it. And we are also open to you giving us, sharing your knowledge on this program. And by the way, we'll start inviting people to this program, but in the next episode or more, we're going to talk about that. Now, you have to know your numbers. I'm sorry for diverting from the main topic, but you have to know your numbers. Okay. I can give you an example. In 2016, when I bought my first home, the real estate agent that I used, he has been in this, it's a real estate agent, it's a broker, and he's been doing this for more than 30 years. It's very quite popular in Indianapolis. Okay, so this person, I approached him. The first home that I bought, I actually paid about maybe $3,500 less than the actual price, than the listing price. So the purchase price was lower than the listing price, and which is not, I mean, it's not something strange. We all know about this, but that was in 2016. 2020, when I wanted to buy my second home, I had to pay 6,590 more than the listing price. Why did I do that? Because the expert, which is the same real estate agent, the real estate broker that helped me 2016, told me that if I want this house, I have to pay a little more. Why? Because the current situation was different then than 2016. The market was going up, like the demand, like I said, demand and supplies. The more the demand, we call it seller's market. Then the seller and the builders, they'll take advantage of that. I mean, which I don't blame them. It's demand and supply. Okay. So I pay 6,000 something more. As of today, right now, I have over $90,000 equity on the same house that I paid 6,590 more, than the listing price back in 2020. Barely 3 years now, and I already have more than 90,000 equity. Think about that for a second. If I had said, "Oh, no, 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 I'm not paying more. Why would I pay extra?" This is, he asked for 259. Why would I pay 265, 598? You know, by now, I mean, maybe I'll probably get another house, but I might not have the equity that I have right now because it is a good neighborhood, good location, good school zone. And so, me following the expert advice, me being current with the situation and understand that every real estate is local and things change. I wasn't stuck with my 2016 mentality because then I offered less and I was able to get the house. But 2020, I wasn't able to do that. Okay. So know your numbers, which is if you find a house, if they ask you to pay more, as long as it's working for what you plan to do with the property, You run your numbers, make sure it's going to work for you. If it's working for you, I will advise you to get it. If it's not, it is not. You cannot force it. But know your numbers, be flexible, ask questions, and you have to be current with the situation. Right now, it's still a seller market in Indiana. If you want to pay less on property, in most cases, you might have to go to another state where the demand is going down. Okay. So tonight, in essence, what I'm trying to say is that negotiation, it's not all about pricing down a product. Negotiation, talking, making sure you are on top of the deal by trying to be in a safe zone. Negotiate as much as you can. But if the situation calls for you paying more, as long as it works for your business, it works for you, please go ahead and do it. Ahmed, what do you have for us about this negotiation? Because I know it's a big topic and people can't wait to hear from you.
Yeah, so basically, negotiation is really something that needs to work for both party, both the seller and the buyer. And when you are negotiating, just like you said, you have to be open-minded,
Yeah,
not too greedy,
yeah,
and be flexible.
yeah,
I said not too greedy because sometimes it's just good to look out for yourself.
yeah, sure.
So one thing that I'm going to point out first is when you are on a seller's call or you are negotiating a deal in real estate, ask questions.
Sure.
Ask open-ended questions like, Mr. Seller, why are you selling this house? Or what gets you thinking about selling the house? That way, they are going to tell you why they are thinking of selling the house. And in my experience, people sell houses because of two reasons. One is pain.
Yeah,
Maybe they are going through financial issue and they can't pay their mortgage or they can't pay the mortgage on the house anymore. So that is why they are selling. Number two is gain. You talk about your house that you bought 6,900 more than the asking price back then, now having 80,000 equity in it. That is huge money. You can decide to sell that house today
yeah,
just to cash out on that money that you you have on there. So that is a gain.
yes,
So those are the two reasons why people sell, and you want to actually know why. So maybe this house is costing them a lot of money that they just want to, dispo it to someone else. They don't want to deal with the headache anymore. You want to know that so that you can not that is not a deal breaker. But you want to know so that you know what you are walking into. That is why you need to start asking open-ended questions and to know their timeline. When are they actually looking to sell? Are they looking to sell in the next 2 weeks? Are they looking to sell in the next 1 month, next 3 months? So know their timeline, know if it is for gain or for pain, because that will help in your negotiation.
yes,
How? If you know the reason why they are selling is because there is a deferred maintenance in the house that they don't want to deal with, now you can tell them, hey, Mr. Seller, they are not going to tell you, obviously, but when you ask open-ended question, they are going to say something that would, give you a red flag like, hey, this is why this person is running away. Or maybe it's a divorce. Maybe the both couple, buy this house and now they are separating. They have to sell. Now they have to sell very quickly. And you can tell them, hey, I really want to buy, but this is where I need to be.
yes,
So that might be something that will help your negotiation, which is the reason why you need to ask questions. So don't be afraid of asking questions. Asking questions will actually help your negotiation. So if something is in your mind, even if the number doesn't work, just say it first. You never know. Another thing is, while you are asking questions, just like Ibrahim say, listen attentively. If possible, make sure you are writing something down, because that will help you build a relationship with the seller. Everybody wants to be heard.
Yeah.
Everybody, including myself. When I'm talking, I want people to listen. I don't want them to be talking over me, and before you know it, we are, all those things. I don't. Nobody likes that. So when you listen to understand. That way, even if the negotiation doesn't work on that phone call, the next time you guys are talking, you can ask them, "Hey, I saw your little baby the last time. How is she doing? Is she doing great? How about the mom?" You know, things like that. When you pay attention to people, pay attention to what they like, what they love, what they hate doing, that will help you build rapport with them. And when you build up rapport, the negotiation will go a lot smoother.
Yeah.
So you want to build relationship, you want to build connection with people, because these are people that will refer you to another person that want to sell or buy house. So you never know where your next business, where your next deal is coming from. It might be from this particular person. So you want to make sure. And if the number doesn't work, don't try to force it. There's no reason why you need to force a number that doesn't work, especially in real estate. Is going to cost you big time. So don't do it. As long as you know that this is where I want to be, make sure you get the number down to that. That doesn't mean you have to be like, oh, this. If they tell you, if your number is 200 and they tell you I can't go below 230, try to understand why. Ask them why 230. Is that the amount you want to have in your pocket, or the amount you want to sell it? A lot of sellers sometimes they don't even know that if they sell for 230, they are not walking away with 230. So that is a mindset issue that you need. That is, Ibrahim mentioned something. You need to be an expert and be a market expert. That is things that you need to explain, so that flex your muscle a little bit, flex your knowledge a little bit. Let them know, hey, Mr. Seller, if you want to walk away with 30,000, then you might want to, be at this end. At some point, you might feel like you are, how will I put it? Teaching yourself because you want them at a certain number, but educating them, being open about it, being straightforward about it, sometimes help, because people are actually listening. They see who you are through the way you speak. Immediately you open your mouth, they see who you are. If you are about just buying their house, or if you actually care about what is going on in their life and you want to help. So building rapport is an important thing to do when you are negotiating a deal in real estate. Another thing is, if it doesn't work, give it time. If make your number clear. You know, if this doesn't work today, hey, Mr. Seller, this number doesn't work for me. I would like to follow back with you in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, just to see if anything changed, and maybe we can make a deal work at that. But today, I don't think this is a number I want to, I want to pay for this property. Father time is the best negotiator of all time.
Yeah.
You will be surprised something that you ask about this week, and they tell you, "Oh no, we are not taking anything less than 200,000." You will be surprised. You will call 2 weeks after that day, and they will be even telling you, "Oh, you said 160 the last time. Is that deal still, available or good to go?" And you'll be like, "Oh, sorry, I used that money, but I can quickly run to my friend and see if I can come up with 150."
Yeah.
So don't try to force things, and that comes with knowing, building a rapport, knowing why they want to sell, because it really helps to know what angle they are coming from, and if how best you can help them.
Yeah.
For me, it's about being able to provide value to them, because as a seller, there's a reason. Obviously, there is a reason.
Yeah.
Either it is for pain or gain. You need to know that. So father time is an important thing. So before I go forward, I still have some other points to hit. I just want to let our audience know you can ask your question in the comment section. So
Yes.
if you drop a comment on Facebook, YouTube, or wherever you are watching us from, we will be able to address your question. Sorry, I didn't mention that from the beginning. So if you have a question about the topic or anything real estate in general, drop it in the chat or on the comment section, and we will be able to answer your question live here. So another thing I have is consistency. When you tell them you are going to call back in the next 1 month, make sure you do. So I have a story. I have a friend of mine that he will call a seller and tell them, "Oh, I'm going to follow up." Then he will not. So at the end of the day, they his wife is going to be looking through the deal, putting the address in the county record, and all of a sudden she's going to see that, hey, these guys sell the house to our competitor, and one day the wife just like, okay, let me start calling these people and ask why they didn't sell to my husband but sell to this other guy, because I know both of them are friends and they are doing the same thing. So why are they selling to this guy and not my husband? Ibrahim, guess what the wife find out?
What?
One of the seller actually said, I like your husband, but he never follow up. So he says he's gonna come in 2 weeks, but he never did. But this other guy, whenever he says he's gonna call me, he always come true. So that is very important part in real estate. You cannot be on your A game one day and the next day you're not feeling like making. No, you have to be very consistent and showing up. That is where the success comes from.
Yeah.
Consistency and doing it every single day. So you need to be very, very consistent. And if the term doesn't work or the price doesn't work, always ensure that you let the seller know. Okay, this is another option. If you don't want to do maybe, okay, this price that you want, I'm going to give you this price. Are you willing to take payment? Will you be open to seller financing subject to novation? Novation is basically a house that the seller is not willing to repair, but they want to sell it. You can be like, I'm going to give you this price. I will give you a down payment. How about we renovate this house for you, put it on the market, sell the house, and we give you the price that you want? It's a win-win for both investor and the seller, right?
Yeah.
Because now the seller is able to get the price they want without putting any effort into the house, which which is what they don't want to do in the first place, right? And now the investor is able to go, cash out some money from this house by just fixing it up, helping the seller fix it up, and they split the profit. So that is what novation is. So basically, things like that, you might want to provide an option, find another means. We are a problem solver.
Yes.
Ibrahim have been going on and on. Do you have anything you want to chime in before I?
Yes. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. I mean, I just want to add to or to reiterate that it is okay to pay more for a product or for a house if that's what the situation calls for. The reason why I go back to there is that right now that is what we are seeing. If you want to get a nice, beautiful, pre-existing property, it's likely that you have to pay more because it's still a seller's market, and the seller will. It is normal. I mean, the seller will pick someone who is paying more because I mean, you post a house, you list a house, and 520 people are asking for the same house. Now it comes to, okay, who gives me the highest and best offer? Now, we mentioned earlier, I did personally, that you have to know your numbers. If it's still working for you, it is okay to put that money down and get the property. Now, some people will ask question like, okay, when you pay more now, are you not overpaying? Are you not, when you're ready to sell it, are you not putting yourself in a big trouble, like, you know, some future trouble from now on? Okay, I have a good and a very interesting answer for you. You see, real estate, a house is sold based on the comps in the neighborhood. So, where I'm going is this: if a house is listed for 200,000 and the seller is asking for the best and highest and best offer, you have done your math. You realize this house will work for you even if you pay 220. I'm just going, the extreme side. It doesn't have to be 220, it can be 210, 205. But you realize you've done your math and you realize it's going to work for you. When you pay that amount and they've done the appraisal and everything, and they're like, okay, this house is 220 or maybe 215, and you have to pay $5,000 more to get the house. What you are actually doing is this: you are resetting the price of that neighborhood. So my point is, when the next person, the neighbor, like the person right next to you that has the same house, or someone 2 blocks or 2 doors, 3 doors from your house, if they have the same house, the same square footage, the same shape, the same size, it's like you are saying now our house price, like the list price, will have to go up because you've reset the price. Guess what? The next person will sell it from the price that you've set in that neighborhood. And when the next person successfully sold his or her house, the next one will follow the other person as well. Before you know it, the price of that neighborhood has changed dramatically just because we sell with the neighborhood price. They don't isolate a house and say, oh, we're just gonna sell this on this price. Before you do that, you have to first consider the neighborhood. It's when you don't have any sale or anything, that's when you might have to like use some technical skills, like a pricing skill to see what a house is should be valued for. So in 99% of time, we sell with the neighborhood comes. So you paying a little more for a house that works for you, that that is in your buying bracket. I'm trying to steal Ahmed buying box. Ahmed. So if you can do that, you are not losing money. That is if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, we are not telling you to forcefully buy a deal. That's not our point. Our point is that we cannot just get stuck with the unsustainable and unprogressive way of negotiation. And I've mentioned that pricing down a house is valuable skills, but that is not just all negotiation is all about. So you have to be open-minded, be progressive, know your neighborhood, know your market, know your numbers, be ready to listen to the expert, ready to be listened to your buyer or seller, so that you can see what angle or how you can try to provide value to them. You buying their house is a way of providing value to them. Like a man mentioned, we sell or we buy for a reason. You cannot just see anybody randomly just buy something without no reason. No, any action comes with a reason, or every reaction comes with a reason. So them selling it, there's a reason. You buying it, there's a reason. If you want to buy, we are advising you or encouraging you to make sure it works for you. The same way, if you want to sell, make sure it works for you as well. Now, if you win and the person wins, that's great. I mean, that's what negotiation is all about. Try to figure out how you can provide value to them, and in return, you're gonna get something you probably won't expect, because it's a it's like law of attraction. Good things come to good people in most cases. So my point tonight is that let's be open-minded. Let's know that things changes, and whatever situation we find ourselves in our local market, we have to work, try to see how we can manage that, not fight the system. We have to manage how things are going. If it's a buyers, sellers market, we have to work with it. You cannot wait and say, "Oh, I'm just gonna wait until it comes to, buyers market." Do you know when? Nobody knows. Okay. Do you know if you had to jump into it, you might have acquired 5 or 6 properties before that buyer's market comes. Okay, the buyer market is here. Okay, the person that acquired 4 or 5 properties before you, you think you are in a better position than that person? No, because that person have probably gained some equities from those property. That person currently has more cash flow. In fact, to outshine you, because he already has 5 or 3 or 4 or 2, whatever numbers more than, because you are just a first time buyer. So he's in a better position just because he or she has been thinking progressively. Buying when things are tough and hard is a way of strengthening your capacity. You can look at it as physical, mental, business, all the kind of strength you can think of. It's building that person energy towards um, any situation he or she finds his or herself. Okay, so he or herself. So for you, what I'm trying to say here is that let's be flexible, let's be open-minded, be current, let's work on getting things done, even when it's a little difficult. But know your numbers, be efficient in calculating your numbers, make sure it works for you. At the same time, try to make sure you are providing value to the next person, because when you do that, you both gonna win together. Ahmed, what do you have for us there?
So
That's it.
I actually agree with the story, the resetting the the neighborhood ARV you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So I have a story about that. So this investor team, they are big. They are from California. They bought my property,
Okay.
and at some point I was like, why would this guy buy? I know I price it so high. Why would this guy buy the property? So I now, when I get into real estate, I now search their name. Ibrahim, guess what?
What?
They have like 8 property in that neighborhood.
See that? See that?
So technically, they know what they are doing.
Yeah.
They are so now they overpay on one property, but guess what they did? They force appreciation on 5 or 7 other property,
Yep. That's how it is.
which now they can go and get an appraiser
Yep.
for, and the appraiser is going to use what? My house that
Yep.
they just bought to
Thank you.
value their property. Now they can use that, to cash out on all other 7 property.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just like a game of chess,
Yeah.
pushing out one, and at the end of the day, eating 7 in return. So I didn't understand why they do it, but it still baffles me. Like, why would they do that?
It's a strategy.
Until I finally realized that they have multiple property in the neighborhood.
Yes.
So sometimes things happen, but that is why I always look for investment activity, investors are activity, because investors are smart.
Yeah. You have to be smart to be an to be a
Uh, yeah, and they follow numbers.
yeah, you have to know your numbers.
So when I see them doing something, even if I don't know what that is, I inquire about it, like what's going on around here. So because I don't want to be too late, At the same time, I want to see what is going on so that it can make sense to me. And if it is something that, fit into my investment strategy, I can quickly jump on it as well.
Yeah.
So that is one. The other thing I want to back up from your comments is you buy real estate and wait. You don't wait to buy real estate. You
Yes.
buy it and then you wait.
Yes.
Just real estate is very solid, and it will grow your wealth over time. It is very not, I won't say slow.
Mm-hmm.
It is,
Steady.
steady. However, you don't want to wait till it's like, oh, everybody's buying, now I will buy, because then what happens? You have more competition, demand is high, you will overpay for property.
Yeah.
So it's better. We are discussing yesterday, and you are like, "Oh, the everybody is running away from buying," and I'm like, "That is the good time for me and you, because everybody else is running away. It's a good time for us to, push and get more property now before they come back. Because by the time they come back, the demand now goes up. We won't be able to afford it. So, going back to the negotiation topic that we are treating, I have one last point, and which is pull away.
Okay.
Pull away is very, very useful when you are negotiating a real estate deal. You know, the number one thing you want to do before you pull away is to let the seller know why you are the best candidate to buy their property.
Okay.
Show them why. Maybe it's tax benefits, maybe it's cash benefits, maybe at the end of the day they are going to be making more money than selling to the other party, and then pull away. Hey,
That's a
I
strategy.
already I already let you know my number. I already show you why you need to sell to me. But with what you are telling me right now, it doesn't seem like we are a best fit for each other. How about I follow up in the next 1 month? You just drag them from the shore to the
Mm-hmm.
middle of the ocean and leave them there. That is basically what you do. Like, and they'll be like, "What are you talking about? I think we have a deal. I think with what you just told me, I think you are trying to convince me." No, Mr. Seller, I'm trying to make you see why I am a best seller. I am your best buyer. But if you don't see it that way, I guess we don't have a deal.
Yeah.
Show it, because a lot of time when people see you are too eager, you are like, "Oh, this is a great deal. I have to make this work." That is when they're going to be, stringent about their negotiation. They're going to be
Mm-hmm.
holding on to it and be like, no, I have to get a top dollar, the best dollar. And those top dollar might be unreasonable sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, but I've been there before. I just mentioned myself uh, you know, real life scenario. Like, I know I overpriced that property. I know, but I still do anyways. And someone come and just buy it. So that is why a lot of seller want to get top dollar, but it doesn't always work. So after you make them realize the reason why they are not going to get that price, and why you are the best, buyer for them, you know, compared to everybody else, you might want to pull away and see what happens. A lot of time it do work, but you need to know when to go forward with it, or slow down and watch the balance. So negotiation really is a win-win situation. It's not about you buying the property at the price that it damages seller in one way or the other, because they are in pain, they are in this, they are no, no, no. They need to sell quickly. They just got this new job somewhere. They need to move really quickly, buy the property at a reasonable price, but at a price that at the end of the day you are going into it with equity, maybe 10,000, 20,000. There's all this money, they are not small money. So getting something in is what we are saying. We are not saying you should go in and be pricing a house that is worth 200 at the price of 100 or $80. That is not what it is. You need to be realistic with your number, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So that will be all my point for today. Asking the right question, making sure you build the rapport, build the relationship, listen to them, know where they are coming from, try to help them, providing value. That is what real estate investment is about. Adding value. A lot of people don't see it, unfortunately, but that is what it is. You know, adding value to other person. Wait and let time determine the best deal for you. Don't force it and pulling away. Stay in consistency as well. So those are the really big one for me. Uh, Ibrahim, do you have any other one? We don't have any question from our audience so far. So
Okay.
I'm not sure if you have any other thing to add to it.
Yeah. Nothing much. It's just that I want to say that all the things we have discussed in this episode, these are valuable skills that people can go out there and practice them. We know, we've done a couple of episodes. You can go back and see what we have talked about. These are, you know, theories that when you put them into practice, you're definitely going to see the difference. You're going to see progress. We are not just mentioning all these things, we've tried it. People that are more, that have been in this investment, like being in this real estate journey before we even started, they've tried it. It's working. You have to just put in the work. And it's one thing to learn all these things, it's another thing to put them in practice. Knowledge is acquired to be used, to put in
Yeah,
practice.
absolutely.
Knowledge is not there to just keep it or to just store it in your brain. No, you have to put it into practice. And um, when you have all this knowledge and it's hard for you to put in practice, we all know that it is because of fear, because of you analyzing and paralyzing, which is also fear. All you have to do, reach out to people that have done it before, talk to them, try to see how they can help you get started. We know it's not easy, and we are not saying it's all easy here. That's not our point. Our point is that when you start getting it to rolling, the ball is like a dice. When you start rolling it, you get in, little numbers. You get motivated, and you keep doing it. It will keep rolling and rolling. And we're not saying that there won't be a difficulty or a challenges. No, or challenges. That's not our point. Our point is that as long as you stay consistent, you stay with real estate for a good sufficient amount of years, depending on how fast, how aggressive you are into this real estate journey, real estate investment,
100%.
you are going to see massive improvement. Be consistent, be hardworking, learn from people, be current. Don't be shy to ask questions. When you do all that, and that's why we are here. Do the talk. It is for you to learn and grow with us. We are more than happy to share our knowledge. So, guys, please, please, s- if you haven't joined our podcast, go to our podcast, join us. We are going to providing knowledge valuable knowledge every Friday. Please, please, please share this with your friends, share with your family, share with your neighbors, share with your co-workers. We are more than happy and we are dedicated to provide continuous and sustainable education on how you can grow in real estate. Ahmed.
Yes, thank you for going back to that. I honestly uh, want to uh, plead to our audience. Um, I'm not saying come to me, that is not the point.
Okay.
But my point is sitting on the sideline is going to, you know, every action comes with consequence and reaction.
Yes.
Everyone do. So if you don't take action now, there will be time that you will look back and you'll be like, oh, I should have done this
Yeah.
way back.
Yeah.
You know, Ahmed used to mention this, but I ignore him. Ibrahim used to say this, but I don't listen to him. So it's not about come to me, come to Ibrahim. No, it's about take action. So
Yes.
leaving your money in the bank right now, you're actually losing the value of that money.
Yes.
So I'm just going to do a little analysis for you. So let's say you leave 5,000 in the bank today. We all know inflation has been going up,
Yeah.
and inflation as of 2 days ago that I checked, it's 4.93 in the United States right now.
Yeah.
You leave your money in savings accounts. According to FDIC, average return that you get on that money is 0.4%. When inflation is 4.9, you are losing money leaving that money in the bank.
Yeah.
So instead of leaving that money there, you might want to go, ask expert, what can I use this money to do in real estate that will give me higher returns?
Yes.
If a return on an investment is not more than 12%, I'm not doing it. And I believe that is like a average across the board for everybody, because that is what makes real estate more solid than other investment vehicles like stock, cryptocurrency and all that.
Bonds. Mhm.
I have crypto, I have stocks, but they are nowhere compared to real estate. That is a discussion for another day. Me and Ibrahim, we are going to come here and tell you reason why real estate is a greater investment vehicle compared to those other investment vehicle. But what I'm trying to say is, make your money work for you.
Yes.
Real estate is basically going to secure your money in hard assets as well as sending you check every month. So that is your money working for you. So when you send money to real estate to invest in real estate, apart from you securing that money in hard assets that is appreciating, that you can claim in your depreciation, that all these tax benefits from it and all the benefits from real estate, you will still be getting cash flow every single month, and your money is still secure, your money is still appreciating. So that is more than enough reason to jump into real estate. And you don't wait till tomorrow. You don't have to know everything. That is another thing that, you know, always scare people. Like, I don't know this, I don't know that. You don't
What
have
if?
to know. Yeah, you don't have to know everything. I have a mentor that will tell me, Ahmed, don't come to me and ask what if question. If you are in a real life situation, if you are in a real life scenario, come to me and ask question and I will answer you at that point. What he's telling me is go out there, cause trouble, and bring the trouble to me and we'll solve it together. That is basically what he's telling me. Because people are busy, they don't want to be bombarded with what if. You don't come to me and be asking what if question. I have money making activity I want to be doing. I'm not ready for your what if. But guess what? If you are stuck and you approach me, I will stop whatever I'm doing and make sure I answer your question and walk you through the step. Because what is the benefit of someone being success without their friends? We all have to grow together, and
Yes.
we really uh, hope you guys will take action. That is why we make it uh, our part of day every Friday to come here and share knowledge. Make sure we do it live. That is another reason we could have done this, sending the recording out. We decided to do it live so that you can ask your question. So please, when you are here, make sure you come with questions so that we can keep answering and solving this problem together. A lot of people are stuck because they don't have someone to tell them this is that, this is, we are talking, and both of us have been a victim of selling our house.
Yeah.
And now we are like, if I had known, I would have refinanced. It is because we don't have someone to tell us, hey, Ibrahim, hey, Ahmed, don't do it. Do it this way instead. So that is why we are doing this. We have been a victim. We don't want to, it's good to have someone that can cut your learning process short so that they reduce the mistakes that you are going to make on this journey. So that is why we are here. And if I don't know the answer, guess what? I'm going to let you know I don't know the answer, but we are going to solve it together. We are going to find the answer together. I'm not telling you I know everything. Likewise, Ibrahim. But we are dedicated to making sure we solve problem that comes our way. That is why we are an investor. Investor don't run away from problem. We look at other alternative way or even work through it and solving it. So Ibrahim, if we don't have any other thing, are we good to close or
Yeah,
give our
so
audience the opportunity to ask their question?
yeah, we want anybody to ask a question. You can go ahead and type your questions and concerns. We'll try to treat it before we pack up tonight. Guys, I just want to give you some quick tips. What you need to do today. What you need to do, the first thing is decide, okay, this real estate, do I want to be financially free? Yes. Okay. Check that box. Okay. How much do I have? This amount. Okay. Do I want to go through the traditional financing? And do I want to do it where I only need minimum amount of money? Check that box because I don't know your account. I don't see what you have. But you have to be realistic with yourself. If you have 20 grand, you don't necessarily have to spend on the 20 grand because if you do that, then that means you are taking away all your reserve. Nothing wrong if you just decide to use 10,000 out of your 20. It's okay. Okay. Look at that. Okay. Who do you need to talk to? Because sometimes we have this significant order. We have a special person who has some interest in whatever we are doing. Talk to that person. You and that person come together and plan. Is it the right time to get into the business? Okay, what are our fears? What are our concerns? If you write down all those fears and concerns, okay. I know Ahmed said, don't come to me with what he's trying to say is that be be ready to solve problem, like try to develop a problem solving skill. He is not trying to say don't ask me like if you have a problem or you are thinking about, oh, what will happen in the next 5 3 years. He's not saying don't come to me, like that's not what he meant. What he's trying to say is that when you develop a kind of mindset that okay, whatever comes my way, I can solve it together with my mentor or I can solve it together with an expert. Be strong minded, um be ready to explore. That's what he's trying to say. Okay, so give the expert a call. And like he said, it doesn't have to be me, it doesn't have to be Ahmed. We are saying that you can come to us just to show you how dedicated we are, because we are actually ready to help anyone who approach us. This real estate investment, we intentionally created this podcast because we want to improve, we want to learn and grow together. This, I have more than one property. We are not here just to say what we have, and we plan not to do that. It's intentional. But trust us, it is not for second transaction. We've done couple. We are ready to share our knowledge. We are growing, and majority of you guys can test it or you can see it. Okay. In this real estate journey, all we want you to do is what we are giving to you as valuable education. We want you to put it into practice. Get your pen and paper, write down what you need to do. If you don't know all these things, contact us. We can give you more information about this. And it is doable. All the fears, all the what ifs, all the what will happen when the real estate crash or all that stuff. Trust me, there is a concrete and a well explanatory answer to all these questions. And if you sit down one on one with one of us or an expert, you will realize what we are saying, that this thing something you don't necessarily have to let it pull you back. You buy real estate and wait. You don't wait to buy real estate. He already mentioned that. I'm just repeating what Ahmed said because it is a solid and provable um, 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 phrase and point. You just have to get started. When you get started, you will thank us in the future. We started like this, like, okay, I took action 2020 and started buying, and there are different ways, different strategy. You don't have to do normal lease. Some people say, oh, they're gonna damage my house is gonna be messed up. No, you don't have to do that. There are different ways. You can do short term, you can do mid term, you know, just corporate leasing and all that. And we're still gonna go over this in more, different episode. We're gonna talk about this. Okay. So guys, in essence, my point is get started. Write down what you need. Contact the expert. Learn about your neighborhood. See what kind of investment you want to, engage in this real estate because it's so large. Different strategy, different situation, different method of acquiring this property and also maintaining your business. Okay. So, Ahmed, do you have anything on my side? I
No.
think I'm done with.
Yeah, really. I think you already it's everything. I mean, you don't really want to look back in the next 5 years, and you know there will still be some regret. Everybody, even we will be like, oh, I should have been more
I should have.
aggressive.
Yeah, I should have more aggressive.
So you don't want to be like, I didn't do anything. Then, yeah, at that point, you're going to be left behind. That is why we want everybody to be part of the journey so that we can grow together. So, without further ado, we are on top of the hour already.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
guys for joining. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, thank
Remember,
you.
nobody is here to judge anybody. If you
Yeah,
have any question, put it in the chat, and we are going
yeah,
to, answer your question. If you want to reach out to us, reach out to an expert. That way, all your fears can be cut down. If you don't know it,
yes,
you don't know it. But if you ask people, somebody have been there before. There is a solution to every problem, but you
yes.
don't know it. So that is why you need to ask more questions. So thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Start this live.